Alright guys, Horror Studio 1 here. I'm so sorry for the lack of uploads recently. Had my exams, but now they are officially done. And it is snowing so bad right now. Anyways, grab a blanket, turn off your lights for 3 true scary ghost stories that happened in the snow. The Man in the Snow. Shortly after my 21st birthday, I was in my bedroom, simply lying on my bed watching TV and relaxing after a long day, when I heard my dad's dog start barking. Being used to this, I ignored her for several minutes, though I eventually became annoyed with how loud she was and walked down the stairs, finding her bouncing near our front door. I looked through one of the dining room windows, finding a man roughly 6 feet tall, which would tower over my 5'2", standing on my porch just staring at the door. After reaching out and locking the door, I yelled, "Hello?" letting him know I'd seen him, assuming he was trying to break in, while trying to work up the courage to get to a phone. He knocked, then asking if he could use our phone. I said no before running down to my parents' room and told my dad what happened. He said not to open the door. When I got back up the stairs, he was gone, so my brother, who had been in the basement, and I opened the door to see which way he went. What we didn't expect, however, was to find footprints only walking from the middle of our front yard up to our porch, then disappearing. I still don't exactly understand what happened or why whoever he was never appeared again. I know I saw him, and there were obviously footprints leading up to the porch, but there is absolutely no way possible for a living person to leave no footprints leading away from the porch. So what was he? And why did he show up at our house? Mr. Hyde in the Snow. I've posted on here in the past. The following experience did not occur to me but to my father during his childhood in the 1960s. It was in the mid-60s at nighttime. He was roughly 7 to 8 years old and was awake and alone in the living room of his family's home. He was staring outside the window into the darkness when suddenly a form emerged from around the corner, crossed the street, and began walking down his block. It was a short male figure with an obviously crippled leg, dressed in outdated clothing, ragged Victorian-era duds one would expect from a character in a Charles Dickens story, and unnaturally and abundant, almost animal-like thick body hair. My father saw him in profile and from the side. His face was extended, almost resembling an animal snout. He likened the figure to Mr. Hyde from Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The thing moved forward and eventually out of view, assuaging my father's fears that he would notice him and turn and establish eye contact. He claims the event deeply unnerved him at the time, but has since become a faintly remembered childhood curiosity. The identity of the entity remains a mystery, as Marinette, then as now, was a relatively small and close-knit town, and if a hairy, deformed man lived there at the time, he would have been aware of it. In any case, the thing was never seen again, at least not by my father. So I asked the reader, who or what do you think this thing was, and are there any sightings of similar things existing anywhere? Poltergeist. Snow and wall markings. Two things was interesting and memorable with Thanksgiving in 2014. It has snowed the days leading up to Thanksgiving. Snow was still on the ground the day of. That's memory number 1. Memory number 2 was my girlfriend's son coming to pick up some things. It was mostly Thanksgiving plates for himself and friends. Nothing unusual there, right? After hugs to me and his mom, he departs. He's grown, never had lived with us. Minutes later, there's a knock on our door and it's him again. In a chuckled voice, he asks me, "Dude, what's this writing on your lawn?" And that's where this story will begin. I walk outside our house and it's after 9 p.m. Thanksgiving Day and say, "What do you mean writing on the lawn?" He ushers me further outside and on the front lawn, there, written in the snow, are words that look like dick. Snow had been on the ground and was beginning to melt, but it's nightfall and the temperature drops, so the melted snow is frozen. The letters themselves had begun to melt, but it looked like there are two lines. Line 1 carved into the snow says what looked like dick. The second word on the line 2 underneath is unreadable. We both look at the word and my girlfriend's son chuckles and says, "It looks like someone wrote on your lawn the word dick." The second words being with a K and the rest of the lawn underneath is snowless. The snow had melted on that patch area. We look at it for about 3 minutes. It's cold outside. He laughs, young kid. His friends are honking the car for him to come on as we're departing. We both agree this must be some weird prank because it looks like what's carved in the snow is the word dick and something else. I assume most of you know how writing looks carved in the snow after it's been there for a while. By a while, I mean like a day or two. The letter size gets wider and less readable due to the fluctuation of the temperature. Yes, we had snow on the ground days prior to Thanksgiving, but by the daytime, the temperature was low 40s. In the shade, mid-30s. The writing looked like it had been there for a while now, a day or two. Our thought at the time was that there must have been some teenagers in the neighborhood who, while walking by, decided to write it in the snow or something. I mean, that's the conclusion I'm left with. Keep in mind, inside the house from 2012 to that time, Thanksgiving 2014, crazy stuff has been happening inside the house. Even with the unlimited amount of activity for the past 2 years, I walk away from my girlfriend's son pointing out to us that we had writing on our lawn, thinking this was some neighborhood prank. Bigger fish to fry inside the house than worry about some group of kids getting kicks out of writing dick and then leaving like that. I would monitor it mentally, but that was about it. Note to self, right? That's November. A few days after Thanksgiving, the snow melts. Writing's gone. 2 weeks after Thanksgiving comes my birthday. I have a birthday party at my house. 12 of my closest friends come over. Yes, we did have activity. Tina's notebook, which we didn't even know was missing, materializes in the middle of the floor between 3 of my friends while they were doing karaoke. Various alcoholic beverages, one being Pacifico beer. The guys and I go through 3 cases, good times. The day after the birthday is cleaning up day. The story of the bottle hitting the wall and noise arriving first, and the bottle appearing minutes later was during that time frame. The Monday after my birthday party, I wake up and discover the wallet I keep in my safe for fear of it going missing is in fact missing. Safe sits in my office, combo safe. Only I know the combo. Girlfriend leaves for work before me that day. I get up, shower, and dress and go to my office to grab my car keys and grab my wallet. Car keys are in the safe. My wallet is gone once again after about 100 plus missing items. You don't really go around looking for stuff, especially when you purposely put something in the safe to prevent it from going missing in the first place. My wallet is done. I have a business trip in the next few days, and now I have no ID, no credit cards. I call my job and tell them I won't be in work today. I'm working from home. After that, I call and tell my girlfriend what's going on. After that, I grab my birth certificate and head to the driver's license office to get a new driver's license. An hour later, I return home with my temporary driver's license. I do a quick look over the house and head back out. Now it's time to go to the bank and get more bank cards, cancel the existing, etc. I even run to the mall to grab a new wallet, blah blah blah, right? Are you seeing better yet feeling the inconvenience of doing all of this? For those who know poltergeist, demons, and malevolent entities, the entity behind all of this is watching everything. That's why it did it. I return home about an hour and a half later from the mall and bank, and I find something in my office. There are words like die and 666 wrote all over my office. I could have been gone for more than 2 hours, maybe even less than that. The writing here or the material used for it produces is different. It's more runny, more oily. Patches of it are still wet. I attribute that to me just being gone for less than 2 hours though, as well as it being winter versus summer. We own nothing even close to this inside our house. 3 things you need to know is the cross hanging on the wall above the TV. That cross hangs in the living room kitchen area. Was in the living room before I left. It's nailed onto the wall with all too familiar upside down man, a Native American symbol, which means a man has died. Directly across from that cross is a pair of scissors stuck into the wall. That's been done before. The 3rd thing is the bar stool. It's a kitchen bar stool, and yet it's been relocated. Now, I cannot explain that. I'm clueless as to why it is like that, but it must mean something. All these symbols and these writings, we might not ever know. But the chair facing the TV or facing one of the upside down man markings is not a coincidence. I pray to God and Jesus Christ that someday, one day, someone seeing what's going on with me would be able to put 2 and 2 together and tell me what it is. The upside down man and the cross stuff are not new to me. Here is what is new. My initials KL with the word die in front of it, written on the wall. A milestone in my house is a new event, often a similar event with something new added. This house, this office, has had similar events like this before. What's new are the words die KL. That's a milestone. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to look at this and realize that this alone speaks volumes. People can debate what constitutes a residual haunting and what constitutes an intelligent haunting all day. This milestone, as it exists right now, has for me, based on what I read about both residual and intelligent, constitutes an intelligent haunting. This is another feather in the cap of whatever living in this house is being a poltergeist. Don't get me wrong, demons have the power, if not more, to do the very same thing, but in the paranormal community, a favor I'm going to lean towards poltergeists. I'm in agreement with you. This is a poltergeist. This true account alone should be a ghost hunter's wet dream, but I digress. Back to the story, like I said, it all goes downhill from here. Now every milestone in this house signifies that the activity is gonna be raised like at least a notch or 2. That's been the pattern with the missing Bibles, burnt posters, objects being thrown, objects disappearing, and etc. Other house attacks, or aka poltergeist vandalism, happened when my girlfriend and I were at work. House is secure, no forced entry, ADT is armed, locks changed 2 to 3 times since living here. Police and crime reports show no other related activity within the 2 to 3 counties next to us, and all attacks have been in daylight hours. This happened in less than 2 hours. The entity knows I'm returning home, and soon. No one's coming in to do this. No one outside. No group of people can predict Keith lost his wallet today. Keith's not going into the office today. Keith's going to leave and be back at a certain time. He's gone. Let's break in, paint, and all around go to work on the furthest room in the house. A room upstairs, mind you. Vandalize it and take nothing else in the process. Leave no paint residue anywhere in the room. No spill paint on office furniture, carpet, wall, etc. Everywhere the paint is are the words die KL upside down man, paw prints 3 cross and etc. No blobs or anything etc. Anywhere that would indicate whoever did this was rushing to get it done or more or less was amateur. I welcome that debate with anybody. This was a few days after my birthday, 2 weeks after Thanksgiving. Christmas afternoon, we returned home from a celebration with friends. It was Christmas already. About 2 hours later, I'm in my office. It's late in the day, nothing unusual until I step out of my office and find something. On top of my office door, on a Christian prayer card, is the words, once again, die KL. I'm not gonna go deep into the events of this. This is a Christian prayer card and Native American necklace my coworker bought me when he went on vacation to Arizona. Like I said before, friends, family, paranormal teams, and coworkers know of our ordeal and they believe us. My coworker brought me 2 necklaces when he ventured into an Indian reservation shop as a means of protection. A necklace for me and for my girlfriend. This necklace now was laying broken. The card with the words die KL is is a card I got a few weeks ago. I was in a Christian store buying new wooden crosses when I went into the store, and the checkout lady pokes me and hands me this card. She says something to the effect of, "Sir, you should have this. You need this." She's about 80-something years old. I smile and read the card, and knowing 200% that I should probably do need this, and kindly accept it. Now, this card, being a gift, was kept in my office on my computer desk under my monitor. I will admit I forgot what it said, because after the Die KL was written on it, my girlfriend, being in tears upon reading it, threw it away. A few days later, a new snow comes in. It snows for a day or two, and the first night of the night I leave my house to retrieve something on in my car is parked curbside. I have to pass a majority of my lawn to get to the car since it's icy cold outside. I avoid walking to the pavement and instead choose to walk on the grass. That's where I see the new writing. There. With much better snow, new snow, first night of snow are the words Die KL. Once again, it's 2 lines just like the one in the office and on the card, Die KL. Now, thinking back to Thanksgiving 2014, I think back to the words, Dick, that was written on the snow. Now I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry I didn't get a picture of that. In my defense, I didn't have a cell phone with me, but that's a weak excuse. I could have easily grabbed it. But me going back inside to retrieve my camera or cell phone would have caught the attention of my girlfriend. Seeing Die KL in both office and hallway is one thing, that plus the other events, and I'm leaving a lot of trust out of me. Between each Die KL are days and nights of flying candles, flying vases, lights going off and on, and worse, I see the Die KL on my front lawn, and thinking some neighbor walking their dog is gonna see this, because at this stage every other house knows of our house being haunted. That secret got revealed the day the first paranormal team came, and with them came their logo and paranormal van with the name Noble Paranormal on the side of the van. People know. In the snow are the words Die KL. I take my foot and remove it. It never snowed the winter of 2014 after that night, but the Die KL would appear one more time. That last time being inside my car. Like most boyfriends, if your girlfriend asks you to go to a store for a cooking ingredient, you ought to go. This weekend would be no different. My girlfriend asked me to go to the store for QJ. I grab my keys and throw on some sweats. I'm out the door in minutes. Using my key fob, I unlock the car as I'm heading to it. When I get in my car, my Hyundai Silver Blue Sonata 2008, I sit in the driver's seat and the words Die KL is written on both floors of the car, driver and passenger. Written on the seats are Upside Down Man and Upside Down Cross. On the ceiling is Die KL, same oily, gluey, non-adhesive substance, but it's still wet, and that's mostly due to the temperature and humidity outside. Once again, same oily substance as what was inside the house. And what was in the hallway as well. No excuse for not taking a picture, but once again, my biggest fear and level of panic attack was neighbors walking by and seeing the words Die KL, or better yet, seeing me clean the words Die KL off the inside of my car. I pop open the garage door and back the car inside, and immediately grab whatever cleaning ingredient is inside the garage. Couldn't go into the house seeking cleaning stuff once again. Girlfriend would be like, what are you looking for cleaning stuff? It's 9 a.m. in the morning. When you're supposed to be outside going to the store, grabbing cleaning gear from the inside would just beg the question. I find a towel and use the outside water faucet and some Windex I found in the garage and remove the markings. It's the scene from Pulp Fiction all over again.